Yes, subscribe. You always dey watch we program dem, but you no subscribe yet to we channel. All wetin you get for do, press this red subscribe button and then you come over here and press this bell. To the bell option, press this one with all. E don done. E no get for cost you anything. When you do this, na sign for show say you dey support we for make we do more. Thank you for wey you don help we for share this program. Yeah! God bless you. Yes, subscribe. You always dey watch we program dem, but you no subscribe yet to we channel. All wetin you get for do, press this red subscribe button and then you come over here and press this bell. To the bell option, press this one with all. E don done. E no get for cost you anything. When you do this, na sign for show say you dey support we for make we do more. Thank you for wey you don help we for share this program. Yeah! God bless you. You know say plenty people no get for vote the time for election? Not because dem no want for vote, but na because of this simple mistake wey I can't tell you but so, na im go make plenty people no vote. Right now, as the Electoral Commission Salon don pull the date for vote and for register, plenty people just dey yagba and dey rush go do things them as dem dey tell them for do. But hey, remember say registration, the voter registration, they begin from the 3rd of September to the 4th of October 2022. That then na number 1 step wey go give you guarantee say you go vote. But if you make mistake during this term, you no go go for vote. And I think this way person no go able for help you pan. Wetin this mean? It means say no ever register na the area where you dey work, do business, or where you dey go school. You know wetin make? You don't know. Sometimes the term for the election, then go say public transport not for run. This na big challenge for you. Remember, if you tap na Kargbo and then you dey work na Lumley, how you go able for go and vote na that side? You go able for waka? The answer na no. So, no make that mistake dey. As them blow the whistle, when they say, hey, today na the 3rd of September for begin the voter registration. Do ya try by all possible means for register na the center where they near you house. So the day when they go say for voting, whether mutuka deal, mutuka not deal, not to your business. You dey go serve full na morning, vote, return back na you house. So you see, if you make this mistake, the possibility go dey say you no go vote 2023. So wetin na this yagba now? For say me party go continue for then na power, or me party go return na power if I not able for vote. You want vote, they change the whole situation.
And also I get Honorable Abdul Kargbo, when are the secretary, the interim secretary, and the head of the APC National Secretariat. Honorable Abdul Kargbo, Ten Famule Adu, and welcome to the program again.
Yeah, mi Famule Adu, and Masime Mominaya, Femi Claudius Cole, and also Racheal. I want to say thank you for where you invite me at this program. But I want big because I get other program for attend today, me school in dinner, and me na the guest of honor. So I get for wrap up quick for go the dinner.
They make out with you quick. Family, I want for tell on thank you, and I want for make una know say, of course, this program is being aired on Star TV as well as Salon. So you in the Salon, you don't get internet, you get opportunity for watch Star TV. No, go straight to the program because but I'm famous guess I forgot today Saturday the thing and plenty. So with the Russian quick, and also I wait for Dr. Bright as well, inside the try for come in, but in data, the internet they get some issue. But I wait for them as well. Why would they run the program quick? And Lakanto, Madam Femi Force, as the chair of COP and also the leader of the Unity Party. We see then there's of course where governments pull out the midterm census report. But before now, I want to just take we back a little bit when una be yeri, but the midterm census, how the opposition be feel, and waiting at some of the things the way una been do for make sure say the government not go ahead with them. You want to take we back a little bit on waiting to be the position at that time when they say they go do the census report, the opposition be condemned.
Well, I mean, the first memory where I get, now been when we go, I think I've been to Mani Hotel, when I think to say somebody finally switched the light bulb on, now the government aid for say, una not ladies in a parliament, una not bring and come parliament, una just want carry on with the census. So I think when I get that awakening, they called and this, I don't know how to describe that particular sitting in the parliament, which sadly, Racheal, I mean, my first step. So I see the whole process, which when I come out, I really talk a lot about that incident the way I witnessed. Say it was a clear case of bulldozing, where they bulldozed their way for say that they had the blessing of the parliament for go ahead with the census. It was a travesty. It was democracy at its worst. So from that moment, they can say, why you not get for sweet? You don't know from the bachelor's. That was almost a precursor to the bachelor's. So I don't know, say, the way where they bulldoze, the way how I see the comportment of the speaker, of the leader of government, the way how I see them comport themselves in trying to bulldoze an unpopular bill, it was pathetic. It was really pathetic. So I don't know, say, this thing where they want go pan, so in order for one good picking. So I'm not surprised at all from that beginning day, when we begin for engage, say, why now? Why now? Why the rush? When I don't postpone and to them because of poor planning, because of poor preparedness. Why the rush? So from that moment, we don't know, say, this thing not get for end fine. And, some people then, they Racheal, talk about the elephants in the room quick, one time. Some people and then on social media, especially where they say, well, I mean, this one have been want. And there's a comparison where they make Racheal. Is that if you get 6 man where one go kill person, 2 don't go buy tick ready for go wapam. 3 say me, they go watch, but I know they wapam. And then the rest of the people say me, I know they go kill. I know they go watch. I know they participate. And they go na police, and they go post. That was the stance that COP took. When we saw the one the way do the statistics alone, the one where they support them, the government, we said we're not going to be a part of it because we know say this is a danger to not only development but the very democracy where we try for us. So from that early stage, then ICOP say we want no part of it. This is not a democratic process. This process has undertones. When I get a different agenda, it has nothing to do with development for we will not participate. So now, when they don't begin to see the numbers, now people are not begin to realize why women raise the alarm.
All right. You talk about say and get the blessing of Parliament. I want to bring Honorable Abdul Kargbo right in there because na day you know. So Honorable Kargbo, I just like to say, I want to take people and back inside the whole thing starts with the resist of the opposition when it comes to this midterm census. When I gets the government we get the blessing of the parliament, it go through the due process, how if they for work inside parliament or make them go for even start the census, the midterm census, say we don't reach so usa we don't turn public discourse.
Firstly, the 2002 Census Act, Section 2, very clear. Oh, hello?
Yeah, go ahead with the you.
Yeah, sorry, na copy inside my phone just now. The Section 2 say from time to time, through a statutory instrument, the president will declare, go order a census. They go order for let them count the country in population. Waiting and they mean. It means say the statutory instrument, now in and the car with force we approve them, where it don't mature after 21 days, then they can go ahead now for do the census. Then can go ahead now for begin plan and do everything at the census. But what happened? Then begin cartographic mapping. They no can of parliament. Then begin other processes them will involve the census. They no can of parliament. Where then begin, they not even announce them. They not even make the public know. Now secretly, nine them in the do. So meaning in their strongholds, they were above all the other parts of the country because their intention now for let them get let them get big number. Now their stronghold. So then begin at their stronghold. Then begin count people and then begin do cartographic mapping and begin do other processes then. They not come with no documents in the parliament. Now we tell them say, this thing what we dey say, una don't begin cartographic mapping, una don't begin some other processes, we not get for acceptor. Because the census is for be approved by a statutory instrument or we delay in a parliament. Now after they don't do all them processes then they decide now for can parliament. And when they can parliament, what they do? Then come force the document on members of parliament. Then come then fet, we tell them say no, because parliament waiting they happen, we get waiting and call the order paper. Waiting for them at the order paper, now the business committee now they determine them. Other than then at the business committee, the leader of the opposition, the leader of government business, the speaker, the leadership of parliament, now then at the business committee. So nothing they appear now the order paper wait for be surprised to the business committee. They're all for aware waiting at the contents of the order paper. So meaning even where the proclamation come, therefore don't discuss at the business committee and put on it. And waiting the constitution, say the constitution very clear. When the president proclaim a census, waiting for happen, the speaker for consult with other leaders of parliament. If for consult, but then they not happen, we just go to parliament, we go see as part of the process. Say then they go lay a statutory instrument for census. When then they not be part of the process, when then the census they don't already begin up. One, we for don't sit down and talk with them for say. Now we una they come with the real document for the census. Always una me non do una get for cancel am. Always una don't do una get for make sure say una null am, una come back law can begin fresh. But that was not their intention. Their intention now for correct the wrong thing we then don't do. And we not go be part of something we not legal. We not go be part of something we not a legal structure. We not go be part of something we not correct. So we raise the flag. We tell them say no. Una no go carry with census. Now yawo una don't begin this census. It's not proper. Una law can see the law can talk. Before that, they're very insistent, very defiant. Then fi say na them get the country. Then fi say opposition not get no role for playing governance. Then fi say opposition not a part of democratic process. Then fi say waiting then talk na for happen. Then go ahead. Even when they lay the paper, the maze. Let's say waiting at the maze. The maze na that thing where the sergeant at arm can hold before the speaker.
Yeah,
that maze they
also.
Exactly. We can decide self for meet na your studio. If parliament meet na your studio, if that thing it means say yes, it authentic na parliamentary sitting.
So the maze not been there at all.
Parliament can even meet na Madam Femi Claudius Cole in Pala. if that maize dey authentic, say yes na parliamentary sitting. But if we meet inside parliament, if that maize dey no dey, it shows say not a legal parliamentary sitting. We no get right for take any decision as a parliament without that maize dey. Even when they go lay the paper, the maize they no run away with another. The maize not been there in parliament, but they insist. But let's tell you what to make them insist. Before the census they can, una member say they sack all the other surnames them na statistics. Them pull them Bangura, them pull them Kamara, them pull as usual, them pull all the surname that we come on and north, we come on and west, na statistics. I will tell you why make them do that. We get the data. Even when the census not be ghetto, we get a data of the total population of 2021 census. Meaning they may not get the population, they not do the census yet. In fact, they may not show the constituencies they all. Poloya them pull one constituency. Now the data will get before the census not write it, before they not count it. Then document and they all mean then at the public. And interestingly, even when they count, difference not there. Now the same thing. The 9 constituency where they mean give it, what we see the data 9 back they don't give it so. So meaning they mean get a plan for at their own constituencies them. How on earth you go believe say people in Bokuna Kenema pass freedom? How on earth you go believe say people in Bokuna Bo pass freedom? And minus that, let's say what's happen again. Yeah. In the 2018 elections, the number of people that will register, you know, say whether they go register and whether they 18 years and above, now they go register for vote. Yeah, the people that will register for vote, then plenty. And remember, when you go register na neck, it authentic because then they snap you. You understand? Then they take you detail. So person know they go register for person, or they know they do over register. Because it goes shown at the system, say, this person don't register. You understand? So waiting and say, they say the people that will be registered 2018 election, then Boku pass the total number of people where them pull so say na in the talk.
All right. So with the candy, I know because this I think say, you know, for the first time, it gets Sierra Leoneans then worried and so concerned about this particular midterm. Surprisingly, everybody they jump on this discussion. Yeah, I mean,
them brother, I didn't get mine though.
Right. So let me go to the reports now. I know say una been always concerned from the beginning. And before Madam Femi the kind side, yeah, just pardon me smaller as Honorable Abdul Kargbo. So in all fairness, in all seriousness, was this census, this midterm census where they all? It did within the legal framework. Is it legal? Because I agree from another front to say, oh, the president get rights for doing what he do so. But is it legal? It passed through the due process to the procedures where you just mentioned so?
Well, interestingly, they can call for census between 5 to 7 years. They can call for census. You understand? But waiting make it not legal now because they begin the census process without taking the statutory instruments in parliament. You know what to make them they take the instruments in parliament? Now for let parliament approve, and parliament is a microcosm of the country when are the macrocosm. So waiting we agree in parliament, we the members of parliament, we forgot to we people and go tell them, say, hey, census they come on, so that everybody go aware. But if they not go with an parliament, meaning they don't want to let the public know, and they want to carry on with them without the knowledge of the public. So they were engaged in the census surreptitiously in their own stronghold without involving parliament. And anything where parliament not approve is not legal. So the census was not legal because it was never approved by our parliament.
All right, okay, that is very clear, and you don't simplify, you don't explain exactly, because on the other front, people and they say the president get right illegal, but you don't clear them today as to why una they say is illegal from the parliament or from the due process that is due. You don't clear them today, Madam Fair, make a can to you as chairperson. I see una self pull a counter census graphic or graph or something where it's something what una self we don't do during the midterm census where it go on as well. So what we hear from the midterm census is places like Kenema, increased population, I think over 27%, and Freetown decreased drastically. And what to me, Yari, I think today or yesterday, say the Statistician General say, because on that night for meet up the census, a lot of people from Freetown migrate up the provinces for go register, for go make them go count them. But anyway, I want to make you tell me at the time, I want to make you tell me, Madam Femi, how una count with una your result, una your graph from the census report. How una count una your?
There are a lot of much first part statistician general. A man that is internationally respected for reduce himself, reduce his profession, reduce his professionalism, reduce his international standing to a joke, because even small picking self will not know much about census. When you tell an almost people in Bokuna Kenema pass Freetown, go ask you if you ate day. So for somebody of that standing, for reduce themselves to reduce himself, somebody who has been highly respected up to this point, it is a sad day. I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for we the country, and it's just unbelievable. But what do we do whilst them in the do the census? Because one thing we discover, where we they ask people them, have you been counted? Have you seen an enumerator? A lot of people said no. So we were then a COP, say COP, everybody did from all the different districts. We then give ourselves a task. We then call people them directly. We then get them phone numbers and ask them if they saw an enumerator, if they were counted. We don't want to know whether that decided and sleep. Like that's one for no. So we can able to capture the numbers of people who saw an enumerator. So we do that, and at that data day, now we publish so we don't get them. We they wait for see, waiting then get for say from their own survey. We discovered from waiting we published so that 80% of the people away we questioned about 1,000 some people. And what do we do with data? Now phone numbers. So anybody we feel to say with numbers inaccurate can go back and call any one of them people and we have the names and their phone numbers and who side their address they. So you can go back and verify with data, say sometimes we sit down in one room, we create them for ourselves. No, we have the database of the people that we contacted. And from that day, we get 80-something% not see enumerator at all.
Yes, exactly. Because people, I will come to you back because people they say some of una the opposition and tell una people make them not vote. But I will come to you. I want to talk to Dennis Bright. Dr. Bright don't come in. Dr. Bright, I see yourself make some analysis them and what they all around on social media as to why you party take a position, say this census it's illegal or this census is a fake, or you can get some words that we use. You can just elaborate small on that as to why you party take that position, the NGC party.
Well, actually, the word we defend a joke. We say the census is a joke. What to make us say so? Because census now where you count the people, and now where you count all the people. But this census, from the very beginning, it starts with big controversy. Chakra, 9 days from the very beginning. Not all man be agree for let the census be one. They not be wait till the usual 10 years don't pass before they make this census. That's number one. So when they say they make a halfway, even though they say yes, the president get power for call census every year, as everyone. But if I get justification, which make it they call it census. Then say this census here they call it because of development.
Yeah, they missing that for development. Okay, I think Dr. Bright, I think where phone call they come there when they talk they among the the whole program. Okay, well, we go get back to Dr. Bright. I think say in the phone don't freeze, maybe because of calls or something. I want can to you, Honorable Dr. Kargbo. You there with me? Honorable Dr. Kargbo. Honorable Dr. Kargbo, you there with me?
Then present them first the proclamation, first in the parliament before them go start. Then don't start the work all pan the census before the members say they get for Kargbo parliament. So we thought that was very, very fishy. But apart from that, we find the finance them. They said they didn't get down about how this thing going. Then find out say the training then not done back. Then find out say they want balance some steps then with them for take. One of them steps a day. Now for the pilot census with them they come and evaluate them. They not agree do them. They say no, go one thing for who do this census. They find out say even the resources the way they need for work, the technicality within this they say nine and get for and that every been there in place. Decide say the last comment here, then the first they're not going to let us to share the name with some kind of wishy-washy census. So because of all the reasons there, so we are the opposition. And other than waiting at court, we will find out see we are not really prepared for the census. And that this census, the way they want for to answer, of course, and down the road, it must be said, then get.
Oh, okay, Dr. Bright. Okay, Dr. Bright. Okay, just stay with me right there. Just stay with me right there, and
So
when they come back.
Some of we, in fact, in talk say, you know, we say, we take part in the census. Of that said, okay, behind the census. We feel that we go spend money and waste money on something where they no say no go fly. Now, still insist say elect na 2-3 people and say agree for let them count them, then go ahead.
All right, Dr. Bright, I will come to you. I will come to you back. I will come to you back. I will come to you back, Dr. Bright. Yes. Dr. Bright don't talk about repeat a little bit of the things that we say because people and they say they know they get unclear. So Dr. Bright don't mention the reason why in party the NGC take this position where then calls the census not a joke because the certain things then they way them for follow as Honorable Abdul don't say they not follow that process day. And besides, if they want for make it as a development for Sierra Leoneans there, they need the involvement of Salon people.
50% of the population. You only count half of the population. How you go come for?
Okay, we got small challenges there with Dr. Bright. We'll cancel you. Honorable, make a cancel you quickly. Honorable Kargbo, make a just cancel you. People like this also say, "Well, be the opposition." Now, when I say make they're not counting people in. So as a result of that, if they're not counting people in, then we're not going to expect say. I mean, the population will increase. Now, on a stronghold, them we on a tell on people and say we lay their own concept. Was that really a justification for making the outcome of the midterm census reports turn out so?
One, we people can say a chick that is going to be a cock is spotted the first day it is hatched. Then can say, if you want to know how beautiful your wife will be when she is old, you must look at the face of your mother-in-law. There was no way where the man and they go get correct figure. There was no way where the man and they go get correct census figure. Once you don't miss the process, you don't miss the cartographic mapping, you don't miss the planning stage, there was no way you to get correct figure. And I'll tell you, what we make more we tell with people, let them know partake in the census process. Now, because we don't see them data them, we don't see them figures the way they don't get already for 2021 census, even when the census not be conducted. Even when they not conduct the census, they already may not get figure. You see? So if we be allow them for go ahead, now that same figure they them for use. And the figure where they pull so is not too different from the figure we've been there in a public. The number of constituencies, the way they give areas them, now the same now of the one they will be see first. The census not be whole little. We see the total number of figure in 2021 census. We see this, we see there was a leaked document from census from statistics themselves. And that leaked document they show all the figures the way they don't cook. So you know go there, you don't see already figures the way they don't cook. They say yes, on a still can't count me. You see, and two, the process was not legal. If they're not Kargbo statutory instrument in a parliament in time, and the statutory instrument where then Kargbo is not properly laid, we know go if we partake, that means we don't contribute in an illegal process.
Exactly.
That means we don't contribute in an illegal process. So we know me want be a barrier to the law we they make. Now that make we say no, we know they take part. So if they were listening, if they are a listening government, then for don't stop everything, then cancel everything, then can engage we back and see say we're waiting at the way forward now for law get the census. Now the perception about governance is wrong. Then perception about governance, then fit say because now then they are the executive arm and now then decide for do everything. Opposition no get no contribution for make opposition for just keep quiet and allow them for do anything. And the state cannot be run. The state cannot be run out of the discretion of SFDP. Yeah, we self now a waiting government. We not go sit there and sit in the point of this country. So the voices of the opposition are very critical in governance. But then they dismiss the voices of the opposition with the back of their hand and do what they want to do. Now that make we tell them say without the opposition, we not go succeed by anything waiting on the part. That was why we told our people say no, we not partake in the census. Because they be not cook the figures.
Well, you they say without the opposition, they not go do anything what they want for do. But that has been what they've been doing from the beginning. You know, when I cry out about the midterm census, they still push on and go with them. And now they don't go with them. Now the midterm census results or reports don't come out. You think say then go pay attention to the opposition rather than them go with how they do business as usual this time?
We go force them for pay attention to we.
How?
We go force them for pay attention to we.
How?
Because the first thing we don't do now for discredit the results. And we get vivid evidences. Say this result. And I'll tell you, census, you know they ever work with results will not reflect the total population. Anything we do with an misinformation. Anything we do with a census now for help you for plan. Even if you want to do delimitation, you know go do one where the figures are not correct. So the mere fact say the statistician general or the people in a statistics talk say opposition not partake. Now I make we not get the true figure or now I make the figure they so. That means say the figure we then get is not reflective of the real figure. So if they have considered that they don't have the real figure, why do they want to plan with that wrong figure? Why do they want to plan with that wrong figure?
Question. But I go to Madam Femi because during the internet and they will not say what they want for carry out the census. You know, one person will be put your foot down, you talk certain things in the 98.1 will lead you na Pademba Road or will lead you na cell. But make I just give
TID.
At that time, what you be say, and if you not think say that affected also the outcome of the midterm census. Take a listen.
Midterm census. Count me, not count me, no to police case. It's simple. So it look like say myself come on a station, myself go just run down, go straight to the headquarters one time because either that or then go get for put extension na Pademba Road for arrest. We always say we do not know the consequences.
I see. Maybe I just play one more thing because this will really get a lot of people into trouble. And even Mr. Dana Konomani said we make a statement. But I'll play Madam Femi, and then I will play Diana, and then we'll talk about it.
Census. Count me, not count me, no to police case. It's simple. So it look like so myself come on a station, myself go just run down, go straight to the headquarters one time because either that or then go get for put extension.
The family on a good evening. We cannot people them on a good evening. Bama no Wengwa. I know say most people will be surprised say which emergency messages you Diana want for this next. It's about the census. The census we want to go on next week. I want to talk to me people in the corner that we not allow make the can come to me now we host it. And that is why I talk in a corner, I talk small and Creole. Mbamwe, Omadon, Mwenye na watching na aniuda. Kono, Ntumunu to my son and Sakana Benjamin. Ni mwama mweche na anamoda grandma and the water tiawa medichiama. All right, these are just a preamble of waiting be happening during eternity, and many more other people being come out, opposition people members being come out and send a strong message to them people with regards to this. But Madam Femi Yombi just take over the whole country.
Take over the whole social media.
It's so viral that people begin to use a slogan. But you think so also that they affect it? I mean, Madam Femi, you think so that they affect the outcome?
Racheal, if a process is going to do harm, like when I talk about them, but what they say, then they go beat that person. Where two don't buy the baton for go beat them. The two ways stand up then watch. That few ways say me know they participate. I know they go up for beat that person day. When they ready for send go jail, you will beat. You waiting up look. You know you're all culpable. So if we know say waiting the one do it's wrong. Are we supposed to participate in a process where we know say from the beginning it's faulty? And the potential for it harm the country as a whole is great. Should we participate in such a process? Then make they tell people and say, I stand by my statement then, and it manifests itself in the cooked figures now. Because if the president always talks about repairing our image, if you get a huge look, opposition may not be in government, but we are in governance. And if the opposition and a whole lot of people, they tell Una say, there is something wrong. Why this government so hard-headed that they cannot come back and say, look, this census is not just for our generation. Therefore, we can't. Let us come and sit around the table. Who say Una object? Waiting on Una problem. Let we engage back because this census not for SLPP, not for PAOPA, now for the entire republic. But they not ever do that, even for show you the stubbornness of this government. Even after where the World Bank come out with a report, where we go the meeting, na statistics Sierra Leone, 2 days before, I think it was census night, the people away for vote, they're not there examine. So we ask the question: if they're not all sit and next to man on a census night, how well trained are these people? So when we see the report from World Bank, it made sense that you were not prepared. You were not prepared. Tablets were faulty, people were not trained, financial arrangements were not made, sensitization was poor. So why should we, if we are a responsible opposition? No, and like me and Dr. Bright, we were in Parliament that day. The document was even torn, if I remember rightly. So why are you proceeding as if to say this PAOPAism? And you look at World Bank and you give World Bank the finger. Una put money, una not put money, una say una train, una say una prepare. Who that care about una? We still go ahead. We are an aid-driven country where we sneeze. Now international community they blow in the way we nose. So for us to act as if we can do this and give a finger to the rest of the world, we are in this position. I think statistics are known for publish the amount of money that has been spent on this debacle. Then for publish and let the public see just how much money they wasted in proving a point to whom? To whom?
Yes, because now one thing back where Dr. Bright say that money they will spend and for not use and for do is just waste of government resources. Because now one of that they back himself being whole where in particular take a position. But welcome to you, Honorable Abdul. So now the report. This is the report now. The report indicates say the eastern region increased, Kenema to be specific, I think increased by 27%, and since 2015, and Freetown population decreased drastically, taking into consideration the rural urban migration where they take place into Freetown and how Freetown choked. So all that they then take into consideration, then say Kenema or the eastern region, plenty people and plenty pass Freetown. What does that tell us? How will they reflect on it? Because what do you tell Una as an opposition, or what thing they don't tell we as a country when which signal what you don't send to the people of Sierra Leone? Honorable, are you there? Okay.
Yes, hello.
Yes, okay, go ahead.
You get me?
Yes, I get you, go ahead.
Yes, sorry, na call can answer me phone.
I know.
Yes, home in the go school. Waiting and teach we now rural to urban migration, and teach we. Say people in the communal village can as na city, and teach we. They never teach we urban to rural migration. So if any side of flop pass mark as a result of migration, now the city, not to the village. Waiting go na Kenema way for make people all go na Kenema. Waiting go then they mine na Kenema.
Lima be talk say a lot of activities and now they take Kenema, they boom right now they everything.
Anyways, the problem with them, if they do something self way bad, you for do it with small intelligence. Anybody who is not intelligent, you want to do something way bad, they mess up everything. So you not go do that. You not go say Kenema population pass Freetown population. You know they do that, obviously. So we, like I insistently tell you, we don't see this result, even when they not do the census it. We don't see the result, the 2021 census result. It been day out because we get insiders, the inside statistics. Then if you say we then sack the Bangura there, the Camara there, the Cisse there, then if you say it don't done. They don't know say then get some Kalon there way patriotic to this nation. They don't know say then get some John there way patriotic to this nation. Not to all people we get their own tribalistic. You get some people where they share their own tribe, we like this country, we patriotic to this country, where no one let bad thing happen to this country. And these are the people where they feel say they with them, we leak them document they are to be. We show we the document in the public, they not do the census at all. All decide and the figures them. So all that tablets with them in the Guinea, concert no more them in the act. A concert no more, a drama, nine them in the do.
So
and we even get leaked documents of some of the things that we don't do now statistics. Whilst the census mean they go on, we're very criminal. You know what they do? Then go na Kenema. Then get what they call enumeration areas. Enumeration areas now in the determine the number of people where they na the township. Then go secretly they increase the enumeration areas without statistics knowing. And any side where you see them go increase enumeration areas. No say they want add population there. So everything we then do now deliberate attempt for increase the population of their stronghold and depopulate the population of side the way then the afraid say no to their stronghold. How Freetown go reduce? Who side the people then go? They all go swim. Where they know who counts there. It's ridiculous.
The statistician general say on that night before the census, the morning, a lot of Fritonians then travel now the province system, so they go register now the province system. So now make
why not Kenema them for go? Why not Kenema and Bode for go? Why they not go put local? Why they not go Cambia?
Oh, Lima say na Kenema the boom right now, and they all team they right now. So I make some the people in common Freetown, then go Kenema for go register.
If the people of Kenema, here Lima, then go vex para. Who's boom with Kenema the boom? All sign of the country, sorry. Things them very difficult. See no for it. Prices are all skyrocketed. Less expensive. Everything expensive. These people cannot handle it. They cannot. So say them go tell me say Kenema the boom.
All right. So, Madam Femi, I want to ask you one critical question on Madam Femi. So, what's your objective stance with the midterm census report, especially with Freetown? Because as you say, we see a lot of outcry. Honestly, from the public, from international and local organizations, from students, from the general public, especially Freetonians. Because some people in a salon, we always the lock mouth where things they happen. But this is one situation where I see a lot of public outcry, say, I think say enough is enough. We have to speak out. So, how you think say this result or this report they affect Freetonians them or don't affect Freetonians them right now? Coming to the election, the 2023 election.
I think to say, I can say Africanist press can pull them, report them, where I can expect for let people and be shocked, let people and be angry when they say how then they waste money, how then they eat money, and they expect for see people and they vex. But I'm not able to believe, Racheal, the way how people and vex for this census.
Yeah.
I don't even believe the response when people and they get for this census. I think to say, they don't do and say this now. I think this now really na the original Waterloo where you see Mumu all man now they talk. Apart from we on survey, and they see all man now they do survey. The other day I go now this very UE building, the third floor, and they talk to people and they all man they're not kind of mayor. New community, they're not candid. Before I say me host, they're not candid. Now everybody is up in arms. So we don't see enumerator at all. The response to this.
I not cut you on, Madam Femi, because as she say, people in the opposite side, they press say, una the opposition and don't tell people and say, let them not count them. But again, I saw people coming out, especially in a Freetown, say, I know refuse for let them count me, but I didn't see anybody to count me.
Not only that, people in the come out for say, we call the toll-free number when they take bluff. We call the toll-free number. Yeah. Nobody came. Some people even said they spoke to the director himself. He said, no worry, would they send people like can't count you. So the level of ridiculousness of the report is of such a magnitude that thinking come way, sometimes people can attack some of what we can they say, what we can they fight for. Sometimes you can ask yourself, say, what make they do this? Why do I risk my liberty, my life, for the republic? Some people see a connotation, say, now instead they fight for. No. Some of we, they inside this game because we really and truly want to see a different country. So some people can say, Femi, they tell you, you get picking them. God will give you grand picking them. Not in the fight for Salome. Salome not grateful. Salome not be seen. It's where they do Salome, then they take them. Say we they don't give you sleeping tablet. This report show me say Salome busy. If not this night it take for let people all wake up. People let me know when they see posts on Facebook. They post now say they don't count me. This is ridiculous.
Public discourse. It gets a lot of buzz. This particular midterm gets a lot of buzz on social media.
Buzz, literally a lot of buzz. No corner another way they go because some of who they run, but not they will hide na this Freetown. Every corner where you go, now that's they not count me. I didn't keke the other day. They not count me. Then say where cockroach one halaki. Now inside per my bottle. Now there they go. As far as me can say, I think to say this government, this trip, census, and people like say 1 billion per mine bottle. Because people are now up in arms about the sheer audacity of the report. Like say they know they work on a free tongue. Like say they know they see the traffic na free tongue. Like they know they see the beggar man they all don't come all side. Not to Kenema and Bonomo. The beggar man they don't come all side. Then they front State House, the Pine Step, as they claim up for go State House. Look the beggar man then pack it. Right, you go kissing, you go all side. Then they.
Okay.
So you cannot tell us the population has decreased.
I know, Fritonians, them really, you know, the really outraged about, you know, waiting and see, so because they know how their city, you know, choke out it full up right now, and then they say the Friton population.
The Fritonians.
Yes. I just want to remind us, Famble, and say, continue for sending a messages them at the city message, and I continue for sending a message and get a civil discussion on the comment section. And also, Famble, you were not able to watch na TV, na social media. Of course, this program is aired live on Star TV as we talk. So, Honorable Mark, to you, because people in talk say again that this particular report, midterm census report, it get any implication na the 2023 election? It get any link towards the 2023 election? It get any ties? It get any implication where will affect the 2023 elections?
Well, if you don't get any link to the 2023 election, then for them patients for Duam. But they rush for Duam because they were come out before the 2023 elections. Now that make even the planning. Remember, if World Bank tell World Bank tell say, then they withdraw them technical and financial assistance. That for them be a cause for let them patient World Bank and for let them look at the process. We know they're against census. We know they're against census. But we are against a census that is not properly planned. We are against a census that will not come out with the true reflection of the total number of population what we get. We are against a census where they're going to get figure already, then just can't dramatize the census for the sake of camera, let like census they go on, you understand? And for can cook figures. And all of them things, then they were evident in this census way they do. Then do and deliberately for create more constituencies than at their own place them. And let me tell you, waiting they want to achieve. If they create more constituencies them, now their own place them, whichever way, now they get for win their seats than they. So when you go parliament, they get more members of parliament, when are SLPP members of parliament, when are the Southeast then come out. And it will help the president or whosoever then a power. If not then a power, it will help the president for the approved thing there easily. Because so, parliament now a critical arm for approving the president, the Kegona parliament.
Okay, I want to pause right there because this now the argument where, you know, on social media say, well, this census, this midterm not get nothing to do with the election, you're not connecting. I mean, so I want to just emphasize on the implication where it gets now the election and the 2023 election, because people say it
now lag over again. Yeah. You remember the way these governments can have power, they win the presidency, but they don't get majority seats in the parliament. So most of the decision the way they want pass in parliament now voting, now they vote in the parliament, and a majority always they get the say in parliament. So what they do? They use the court. They remove members of parliament from the opposition. They replace them with members of parliament of SLPP. Some members of parliament of the opposition where they remove, some part they get 12,000 votes. They replace them with SLPP members of parliament, some man are 1,000 votes he get. Some man are 2,000 votes he get. In a constituency that houses over 53,000 people. You go take post where get 1,000 votes, you go put on a parliament. You take post where get 2,000 votes, you go put on. You pull the way get 14,000 votes. You understand? So then do and deliberately for capture parliament. Now, how they want capture parliament? They no one gonna court again for remove people. They want add their own area, the population, because a constituency, not to the size of the boundary, now they determine a constituency. A constituency, now the population, now they determine a constituency. So if they increase their own population, then they get more constituency. More. Like for example, Kennyman have been 9, but then don't make at 11 or 13. That is the new one where they don't pull. They don't make 13 constituencies. You understand? So meaning you they get 13 members of parliament when a Kennyman no more than they come out. You go get over 11 or 12 members of parliament when a Bo no more than they come out. So meaning the members of parliament where they come on a SLPP stronghold, now they go boku inside parliament. So any government come, waiting if na a young government then a power, waiting the young government want do, they go easily approve na parliament. They not go need for go na court again, go because then condemn them, where then go na court for pool members of parliament, then condemn them internationally, then condemn them locally, and then set the pace a very wrong precedent. So then say that strategy is bad. So law will change them. How then change the strategy? Now for ensure say now, then go give themselves more constituencies then. So that when they go to parliament now, so SLPP MPs there you go see, the APC MPs then can they reduce the population. Why make they reduce the population of Freetown? Now because they know say now APC now get majority of Freetown. Almost all the seats then are Freetown except 2 seats now SLPP win. Where na Tawa and Honorable Jallo. Tawa 3 seats. Tawa, Honorable Jallo, then Honorable Sheriff na Aberdeen. Now 3 seats SLPP be win. Now the all 29 seats we been there. Now 3 no more they win. You understand? So waiting and do now, they say if 29 seats continue for the under, APC then go Bokuna Parliament. So long we go reduce the number of seats there. So from 29, they reduce until 21 seats. The outside the young people and they say if small seats they not go Bokuna Parliament. So then go now the young place, then they add the number of seats where they did. So that at the end of the day, now they always go get majority. Now this now the implication we get on the 2023 election.
All right, it's better we don't break it down for me. Before I reach to Madam Femi, make it everything at in position now as COP. I want to make you just also answer this other critical question. If all of these, you know, because some of them things they also can get some kind of threats, some kind of security threats if people feel aggrieved about the way governments and the way Emana governments, you know, do this midterm census and then feel that their rights already been abused even before the election. People feel aggrieved. I want to ask you as an opposition, does this whole report, the midterm census report, again, any security threat implication at this point? Unmute.
Sorry, in terms where they ask about security threats, if people then go come out na the streets and protest, now that kind of threats you to talk about, or the threats at the ballot box?
Well,
for me,
in both ways, both sides.
Well, you see, this country, this government don't so intimidate people that people are very fearful. People then they're scared. Then don't take away with freedom for associates. Then don't take away with freedom of speech. Then don't take away so many of the democratic space. Then don't so close them that I don't know if this can be a trigger for let people then come out. But one thing where I want to say in terms of people coming out to protest is that we don't want to play into their hands. What we want to say is we in the opposition go do we best in terms of the things we publish, the things we write, the people that we interact with, the international communities, the funders of our elections, the funders of the whole process. We go for call them all to account to say this is a process we facilitated. Despite we go UNFPA, we write letters, we try to meet with them, and you know we have to hold them to account that this is a process that you facilitated, and this is the result. So what's in the happen? We now have a totally dysfunctional census. What are we all going to do about it? The people's money is in there. And what we want to say to the population as a whole is this anger where we get, this frustration. Are they going to be bold enough and audacious enough for let them go still ahead with all them plans there? Are they going to listen to the voice of the masses, of the voice of the international communities to say your results are faulty? It's not going to be the first country where they annul a census. but these results have to be nullified. They are not what the paper they are printed on, and the one that were responsible, seriously, they owe the Sierra Leone people then the money. They owe the one that will work for them, and they owe we money we una spend on a futile venture. Because of stubbornness, because you were hard-headed, because you don't want to compromise, you don't want to collaborate, you don't want to consult. So the anger where the people then they feel, I think therefore keep them and utilize them in mass registration and mass voting and voting this government out of power. Because when
yes, Honorable Kargbo, you said one for
yes,
let me say, because Unana the majority of the opposition. Does this have any security threats from the anger of on the minds and hearts of the opposition or the general public?
Of course, the press release so we pull as opposition party now that the 2023 elections are under threat because of the census. So then for ensure say, they render a null and void. And interestingly, not only the opposition party, they're no more opposed to this. We get civil society organizations there, like New. I hope so I don't read them press release as well.
Yeah.
We then say them for render this census null and void because it's not reflective of the population. But even if you say safe, APC, now them boycotts, COP, now them boycotts. But you go say again, World Bank, now them boycott, for Christ's sake.
I'm not cutting you before you continue. Even the chairperson, I think she's the chairperson of NEO. So Marcela Samba himself put out a statement say, "Me no refuse for let them come to me," but nobody came to me. Nobody came to my
exactly. So if you blame the opposition for where them boycott the process, you go blame World Bank back for where them boycott, where them pull out of the process. World Bank later saw what the oppositions were saying. Now make them pull out of the process. They not say the process not credible. They not say the process no, and they not follow due process. They not say it was deliberately organized, for let them take up, parliament, for let them capture parliament, and for let them raise, the population na the country. How now to that go believe? Say Kenema, Bokupa people in a Kenema Bokupa street. Who that go believe that? Who that go believe that? You see, the way they add Kenema, it's like say no more, all the diamond and a Kenema, they wake back and then count them. Then free to all man go swim. Nobody know me. Then thing they are, then they treat we country with some kind of levity. The Tiwa sense for this government, they not believe in credibility. They believe in mediocrity. They believe in doing things the way they believe say an institution like government for do. It's disappointing, to say the least, for the whole government condescend to this kind of way, for say Kenema Bokupa's freedom, and for say the total number of voters that we register na 2018 election, then Bokupa's all my way na freedom. This is incredible. You don't go believe that kind of thing there.
So what's in now, all of this discussion, everybody don't talk, and as an opposition, we don't talk before. Even before they continue with the census, and nothing happened. Now the midtown census reports don't come on Abdul. So now my question is to you, Abdul, Honorable Abdul, what's in the stand and the position of your party, APC party? What is your position and what's your plan for moving forward with this report?
The party wholeheartedly and emphatically rejects the provisional result of this census. And the party also declares, say, the 2023 elections is under threat. The party also attracts the attention of international. It's also under threat. So if now people the way they believe in governance, if now people the way they believe in consultations, if now people the way they like the country, then go listen. But if World Bank will pull out, why shouldn't we pull out? Why? You see? So to me, SLPP, they're so obsessed with doing what they want, regardless of the fact that it is not lawful. They don't want to know. Injo FIBA like with them in our government, all the way they want them for do and nobody for stop the opposition voice, not to voice. Then for just disregard opposition voice. And when they all by your opposition say, can't sit down, you for sit down. They say grab, you for grab. They say go so, you for go so. And that is not how a government is run. Opposition voice is part of government. Part of government. Now I make them form the advisory committee of the census. They involve opposition members then they, you see. So to me, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Before I reach to Madam Femi, somebody they suggest I mean, as an opposition, people don't talk, but things they still don't pay attention to una. They go on with waiting they want for make it happen. So this time, the opposition no go come together and try for match to the World Bank, and we know the moral guarantors like gonna say where they support or where they sponsor election for express una dissatisfaction and una tell them as to una concerns there as to why una think say this the president for declare this midterm census null and void. Madam Femi, before Abdul, before you go, I know say you want to go, you can talk about that. Then Madam Femi can go just close on that. Why you nothing say the opposition for do that? People are asking that. Say rather than write, una go in person, una move in different locations inside on the moral guarantors and express una concern.
Yes, as opposition, we don't do a letter to the international partners, and we deliver the letter on Monday. After that Saturday, we form a delegation for go visit them. You know, when we visit them, we go express your opinion to them relating to the census where they so do. And after that, we will reform we again as a party. We take everything step at a time, and we work together with COP also. So we will see a collaborative action from COP, regardless of the fact say we party change administration and not affect we relationship with COP. We still everybody aware of that. We want to let everybody aware of that. When COP may recently meet, and we believe in them, we believe in what they stand for.
All right, Honorable Abdul Kargbo, what do you go on left?
Yes, ma'am.
Before Femi they close, what do you want for left with your party members then, and also the general public with regards to we don't lost Abdul Kargbo, we don't lost Honorable Abdul Kargbo. Okay, Madam Femi, this is you don't come back, okay? Because I want to close with this. Then yes, I said before you they left, what do you want for tell the APC party members or the APC supporters them, and also the progressive on the way, progressive one for Salon Progress, the general public, which message you want for left with them with regards to the census, this midterm census report?
Let them exercise restraint. Let them not take the law in their hand. Let them wait, and then we hear from the leadership of the party, and then we'll get a statement from we. We did try for exhaust all the diplomatic medium them for say they reverse the result of this very census. We don't do a lot behind the scene, and up to now we look at the moral guarantors them. And I believe say from time to time, then go they hear from me.
But before you go, I get some discussion with the boss that the comment section say, una don't the right, but this thing people. The international community is not paying attention. It's not doing anything about it. And even the government have not listen to it, they still go on. So people are saying, is there a plan B other than just right, we're not going to go no way. So people are just concerned that this rights not take salon anytime for the past 4 years that the opposition don't complain.
We lack the peace of this country. We always restrain. Then pull 11 members of the opposition at parliament. We're very unprecedented. We know happen in no other country, but we see the reaction from with the opposition. We restrain because this country, na salon na APC leka. Most of the infrastructure, na APC don't do. You understand? So we know the fella, they want their way, they can power. At the end of the day, the one cause meme, the one cause. So we the comport we safe. And like I say, we not the only stop at writing letters. We the seek other means. And as time they go on, we go communicate with you now. What we do as opposition party.
So if nothing will happen, we can proceed with the election like that, registration. If nothing will happen, the people can go into
Then no say it go difficult for them. But like I say, as a political party, we believe say something will happen. We will get back to owner as time proceed.
Okay, we'll wait for whoever they wait for you waiting there for happen after this. Thank you so much, Honorable Kargbo, for for honoring me invitation at all time. I really appreciate. Madam Femila, I'll go to you quickly. Like I say, people are crying. The outcry is serious here, and even on the comment section, people and then they say this letter writing, all tell letter writing. Don't take Salon any side. All within the opposition don't criticize or don't condemn, say the government they consult and anything, but still then they go on with waiting the one for go. Is there any alternative?
Well, for me, the ultimate answer now, where you see Honorable Abdul Kargbo, they tell you, say, we like the peace and stability of the country. We are now months away from a general election. We don't do anything where they play into the hands of this power government, giving them an excuse for let them say there is civil unrest, there is this and that, we postpone the election. So
you think that's when they push the opposition for make them postpone the election?
I'm not to say then get that skill or that ability they say for push the opposition for doing the opposition no one for do. I don't know for other groups then, but one thing I know about the consortium is that we they think strategically, we they plan, and we constantly get the safety of the people in mind. We don't want anybody for lost their life. We are so close to election. For me, that anger, that frustration, bottle them up and keep them for the polling booth. This government deserves to go. And we want for let them go by the ballot box. We elect which kind of rigging device they set up. The masses will say, we don't see what's in you're made of, we don't see the direction. There was nothing good about this direction, and we've had it with you guys. So the one way don't pass, Iboku pass the one way left. The one way left now, we go do all that we can, maintaining peace, order, and stability in our country. We say we like Salon. No one foresee Salon erupt or explode in any kind of a violence. Then they know they breed anything good for anybody. What we want foresee is for the government to go peacefully with the ballot. There are areas where we self get for stand strong and stand tall, because you cannot put anything aside from this government, who seem to be desperate for hang on to power by fair means or foul. This is one means where they've been already planned, say they want to use for hang on to power. We catch up quick. We don't get the smell quick. We don't get the taste quick. Some people, they say we are shocked. No, we're not shocked. This was what we expected. But I am happy that for a change, that the public themselves, they see them, then they begin to understand them. And when you look at these type of behaviors, I can tell people and say, you see some of we where they fed for this country now, we get 1 foot in a grave, me on 1 foot, then our ascension to being grown. What we want to see is a Sierra Leone that functions. A Sierra Leone where we can left with great grandpicking them in a better environment, a democratic society where everybody can thrive. We put an end to all this tribalism, this do me or do you kind of a tricks. So for some of us, we want to see Sierra Leone grow. And violence is very difficult for you actually accomplish a lot. Yeah. Some people they say, "Una talk, una match, una do so, una do this, una do that."
At the camera, Femi, there's a point that a government can go where the people itself will do an uprising where the opposition will get control over. So I just hope that Sierra Leone are not pushed to that point yet, and they would just be patient enough so that we go get, you know, a very calm 2023 election. But I'm just saying, yeah, there is a point that a government can push its citizens where that it will create an uprising. That's the buzz we're having at this
You're
point.
right.
Yeah, that's the buzz we're having at this point.
You're right, Racheal. We've seen it in so many other countries. We have. We don't see Mboku in the Arab Springs. We've seen all of this. In Sierra Leone, we have a very small country. We have a potentially very wealthy country. Why we want to make a small band of, I don't know what to describe them, push us to the precipice where we end up, they take the whole country over a cliff. When we have elections pending, elections are right at our fingertips. And then say, if this one old world cook for you, you know, you go look the top, you're not able for it. Then they cook for we now, with a fetch, with a push, with a talk. Some are in support, some are against, some have unrealistic expectations. All that we're trying to handle. But when the whole country now say, or those who are clear thinking say, it do so, this direction enough it we, then we will have the population be angry enough, be upset enough to say me at the register this trip and me say I know the vote, but to me, mommy and God, then why are they for go? Are they vote? Are they register and are they vote? So we want people to be angry. There's that power, that power where they get when they vote. You know, so in other registration, let us see record numbers of registration, and then say we know Bakuna Freetown. Let me see Freetown register in such numbers. Numbers that they know the election is over.
This is a confusing thing where I want for ask if, but I don't go. But I can ask you. So let's assume that in the registration, we see say Freetonians they register, and the number out overshadow the number where they say then count na Freetown. So what? Yeah. How would that look like? You know, I mean that could be very confusing situation.
No, I think it will be confusing for the power government. Now they will be the ones confused because they have the whole thing wrong. Yeah. Now then don't read that
and register more. And we see say the number we register it even outshine the number where they say then are Freetown. How would I go explain that? How they go explain that?
That will be for them to explain. It will be for the people to vote. Because this soup when they don't cook, so they don't take rotten fish, they don't take rotten ogiri, they don't take masanke pamine, they don't take all the worst ingredients. They've cooked themselves. Now make us say kakoch one halaki. Now inside pamine bottle, now there they go. Because right now the people, those when not in the see what they talk, now then they see. So now this is why I've been planned all along. But it is so nonsensical. It is so stupid. It is of such a magnitude that. But you know one day gonna all then slum communities, let you see the generations and how the slum communities, then they mushroom, then they become more and more. Those are not all Britonians. And people that don't come out in other areas, and not just Kenema. And you know what, Racheal, if we end this conversation, the government is not helping the relationship between tribes and communities. Waiting then they do so, I doubt if the people of Kenema or the people of Bo appreciate waiting then they do. Waiting then they do so, they try by all means to divide the country where they should be trying to unify us. So what happens? Now all man make a joke, they make a joke regarding the crowd where they're in Kenema. They want make a joke, who make a joke about Bo. It is wrong. Then they turn kerosene a fire where we feel to say not for be ignited in the first place. So the people, look, what till we get so now, Racheal, not to that SLPP of Trade. I tell you honestly, this power government is doing everything that they can to divide this country, and we should not allow it. We shouldn't allow it. The price of rice is high in Freetown. It is also high in Kenema. It is high in Freetown. It is high in Bo, in all these places. Why are they using this kind of cheap tactics to divide us? Why? And then they translate to election violence. It really does. Because they begin to see us now as them and us. No, we are Sierra Leoneans. All of us are in this together. A good Sierra Leone is going to be good for all of us, regardless of which part of the country you're living in. So for my own part, I really don't appreciate the division that they're creating. I just do a tour of Kailaun, Kenema, Bo, Pujeon, Moyamba, and Bong. The people are crying the exact same cry. The exact same cry. Joblessness, poor healthcare, poor educational facilities. We meet one picking, now cry, they cry. When you want to go to school, money no day. We say, I mean, a free education. He say, who's kind free education, man? Teacher say 300,000 now for Kargbo. So it's one Sierra Leone, for Christ's sake. Yes, Mr. President and co, stop dividing us. If you cannot heal us, then down your tools. Say, this is too much for me. I cannot do this. But don't try and divide.
Okay, and as we close now, you know, like you're saying, for me, I don't know how the government of statistics Sierra Leone will able to explain this kind of situation where registration they're just around the corner, and will they want to prove a point that Kenema gets population? How will they get that? How then will get that population? They forgo register. Will they want to prove that point? How then will get people there? What's going to be the process? Is it going to be credible? Are they going to source out people from different locations? All of that people are taking into consideration. And how opposition will able to ensure say that's not happen, because as it is now, Una they accuse the government, not even accuse. I mean, you're frowning at the report. Sierra Leoneans they set the frown at the midterm census report. But again, the government will want to prove a point during the registration. They will have to figure out how therefore prove a point for that 7% from Kenema. They will have to source out people for a register, either from Kenema or somewhere else. So I'm just asking here, waiting go even be the opposition in stand where registration get for come, and how una self how the opposition or how people and Freetonians thing where they say they're not plenty go in, they said going for prove a point say now them plenty past Kenema. So it's going to be point proving after point proving for sure. Say waiting the government say waiting we say is right, and Freetonians themselves therefore say waiting the government say is not true. How would that situation play out?
Well, right now we engage in the PPLC meetings. We are engaging with NEC. All the problems so we they foresee, we they bring up during the PPLC meetings. PPLC meetings with a trailer, we transform them into a more productive meeting where we can begin to highlight the issues. And one way we don't they highlight now the efficiency of NACRA. Because now we not reach September 8th, and they see people letting up on the sun, then they wait for do the registration. So we have to engage NCRA to see how efficient is the process going to be for let una able for capture all those in line. And I tell you, we the consortium of progressive political parties are not going to be sleeping on our wing. We are going to try to be as active, as proactive, as involved in the process as possible. So right now, we already don't begin for ask questions. We already don't begin for engage. For say this should be a collaborative effort in the registration process. So una no feel to say that 2 weeks in September, una go should we push we na the sea or wherever else we're supposed to be. We're going to be part of that process to make sure that it is credible. And we're going to see before that date come, how open are they? How transparent are they? You notice when the statistician general they describe the report, he uses the words undiluted. He uses the words one other word where he used, which I'm like shocked. Why are you using undiluted and pure? That's it. Undiluted and pure. Those are not words you use to describe the census. You use accurate. Accurate. And why are you staying clear of the words that you should be used? So we are going to make sure that it is accurate. We are going to be on it. We are going to be asking questions. And if we see Sawege Dakadeke, we'll bring it to the public forum.
All right, okay. Your final word for today to the people of Sierra Leone, we aggrieved or we, right now, we really they frown seriously and are aggrieved by the government or the Statistics Sierra Leone, their midterm census report, waiting you get as an opposition or as a chairperson where they in charge of 13 political party call, waiting on a message on our send out there to people.
Me want for really talk to the people. Everybody gets the member of parliament. Then get for now, make sure say they're able for engage. When they engage for election, then they engage them. Then they engage the parliamentarians and they go meet them people there. So the parliamentarians all over, let all man begin for engage them parliamentarian. Let all man begin for go now their office them, now the different constituencies them. And see, we not agree, they're not country, we not agree. So when they get to parliament, let us watch what the parliamentarians are going to do. And we're talking about parliamentarians across the board. The APC, the SLPP, the C4C, the NGC, all the parliamentarians. For let them come back to the people and tell them that this was an accurate census and we're going to support it in parliament. So we therefore put the pressure on everybody to say this census is not worth the money that has been spent, and we want accountability. Audit Service Sierra Leone, they need to get in there and know how much money has been spent on this project that can produce such an inaccurate, inefficient, bogus, botched results.
All right, thank you very much. She is Madam Femi Claudius Cole, the chairperson of COP and also the leader of the Unity Party. Thank you, Madam Femi, for where you can at this program, even though you have a busy schedule today, but you make a point of duty for Canada program. And unfortunately, Dr. Bright, been just come and talk now, for a few minutes, and the network will allow for make it continue. And I want to say thanks also to Honorable Abdul Kargbo, Wesef Kanle, in your concern as an opposition. Thank you very much. And the conversation definitely will continue on social media and, all over the place as the buzz is still out there with the midterm census reports we come on, where people and feel say it's just orchestrated for the benefit of the ruling party. So now we continue for get the conversation going on social media, and we say they look up to within the opposition, they say for come up with in the near future before the registration. Thank you, Madam Femi.
You're welcome.
Now we do. But then when we pass 2023 now, when we don't pass 2023, we now need to make sure say we do the right thing for the people of this country. Yes. We do what the people are asking us to do. Yes. We focus. We now live on with selfishness then. Then when they were there within the party where they feel say it only get for be them, we get for tell them say no, please. You and
all the long-standing problems still entrenched in our society, we have added another problem, which is making things even worse, which is taking us backwards and not forward. And what is that? It is the seeming policy of division and exclusion, marginalization of a certain group. That is not good for business. The political instability and tension is not encouraging investment. Division on tribal lines does not consolidate peace. It perpetuates resentment. Now, yesterday, in the opening statement of our leaders, we were inspired in so many ways that we saw that our leaders, for the first time, admitting to faults and willing to take responsibility. But we also see that there is a big gap between rhetoric and reality. We are preaching peace, yet we are undermining those institutions that foster peace. We can give countless examples, but I don't want to bore you right now with examples. Let me just mention a few. cannot preach peace and you're sacking people who are guaranteed with security of tenure under the Constitution and the statute. You cannot preach peace and you impose a Speaker on Parliament against the majority party in Parliament. We cannot preach peace when it seems like appointments are being done on tribal lines. We cannot preach peace when we are depriving access to justice of the hearing of political cases by opposition or otherwise, and even by the Sierra Leone Bar Association.
Change. I remember, plenty people they say, I fly like a bird. I'm not there for fly, but for salmon, I get for fly. I remember I go Japan. The hotel I want to enter, they say you're not going to enter Naya. The previous government, they can Naya, they not pay. When I get for pay them first, before when they enter. When all the company head of state, they don't get them hotel room, they don't rest. I've been get for paying for paying the debt first, what we get, and pay all that money now for pay for where we enter. We've been get for clear them kind, but in all over the world. Many of those say a new government day with good intention. And to a very large extent, I will tell you now, say, if you're not Israeli and you go out of this country, if then they talk about Salon, how other people they respect you, you will not believe. Because Mrs. Akinsidon in a state of disbelief, a
lot of people complaining, even your government complaining about heavy deforestation in the eastern part of the country, where forest timber is being cut down indiscriminately, sometimes by government-approved firms as well, and this timber is not being replanted. What are you doing about that?
Well, we cannot say it's not being replanted because, to the best of my knowledge, I know replanting is going on. I remember launching that, and the minister has gone ahead.
Even where it's being done illegally?
Not, I mean, when you say there is no replanting, replanting is ongoing in Sierra Leone. Illegally, definitely, we will not know about it, so we won't be able to do something about it. But replanting, you know, as far as to regrow the forest, we are doing that at the moment.
When you say you're not able to do something about it, I mean, therein lies the problem, some people will say.
Well, that's the problem. If I don't know the trees are going down, then I'm not going to plan for that. What I mean is, in those areas that we have identified, we are replanting.
I'm sure you're aware of the amount of criticism that you receive in your home country concerning your numerous travels abroad. You know, you travel by air all the time. You know, you've been to Nigeria, Ghana, Equatorial Guinea, London, Turkey, Doha, London, now Glasgow. You've flown to all these places. That's a huge carbon footprint. Don't you think, as somebody who's leading a country where that is being affected by climate change, that maybe you should check your carbon footprint a bit?
That's an interesting one. We live as a world community. We are talking about global issues. We would have preferred that I didn't come here at all to make my voice known.
It's not my preference. It's your country people.
I'm just saying that
yeah.
My country people could be asking the same question that you're asking. So it's just a rhetorical question. We inherited a very negative reputation for our country. We are known for some of the worst things in the world. And as a new government, I've traveled extensively. And why? Because I want to clear our name. I have to be there. I have to make, we were talking about challenges about the environment in Sierra Leone. If I don't come here, I'm not going to let the people know what those challenges are and how we can get rid of them.
So in this case, the footprint, the President Julius Maada Bio's huge carbon footprint is justified.
Well, I cannot say it's justified, but how else can I travel? By ship? On foot? No.
Ride a bicycle.
Bicycle. I'm
only playing, Mr. President.
I never get anywhere. We have to.
The Chief Minister and the First Lady, your wife, have actually misused public funds. How will they be held accountable?
Ask him. Exactly. Good question.
There's a prescription for whatever happens. If that is the case, and it's proven in a court of law or by the commission, they either ask to pay for it or there are different forms of punishment for that.
Wow.
They will have to.
On top of that, you recently hired a brand new finance minister who was accused of long-standing corruption in the previous administration. What message does that send to Sierra Leoneans?
No good example. No good example.
Again, you've used the word accused. And he has had to go through a very long legal process to prove that he is not guilty. So, like I said earlier, it is easier. Anybody can make such claims, outlandish claims, or that the other person is corrupt. But we are a law-abiding country, and we go through the entire length to make sure that when claims or allegations are made, we prove them in a court of law, and then we take the necessary actions.
And finally, when it comes to the importance of diversification, obviously the Sierra Leone economy has relied heavily on commodities, particularly iron ore, diamonds, which have been...
I've always been a crazy girl. I've always liked attention. Even when I'm in school, I always volunteer to do debates and anything to do with talking. I like it. So I think I express myself more when I talk than when you give me pen and paper to write stuff.
Namina, the only first lady, we know they get budget for where visitor come visit me man. What we will make a special food for them. When we get a guest, there is a budget where they give every first lady. That budget they you for use them for them thing and day. Every first lady they get budget for in case of emergencies like this coronavirus. I know they get money. They know they give me money. And I know they ask for money. So for every little thing where you see how they do, for all these charities the way you see how they give out, for all the gifts the way you see how they give out, if I no go take an me back, I sacrifice, I go give. Then I go for call 1 or 2 friends them and ask them, say, una help me, I want to do this, make law, let I go able do one. Now, would you feel say go pay the bill? When you want to let the world know who you are, when you want to let the world know what your country stand for, when you want to let the world know, say yes, you young government and the country where you dey under, the president where you dey under, that president he believe in gender equality. You have to do something for make the world know. So yes, I use that money towards that because all them people and the way they for come in this country, now somebody there for foot them bill. Anytime another first lady invites me for going in country, now in they buy me tickets. Now in they buy me PA in ticket, he buy me security then ticket, he buy me media people in ticket, now then can buy the ticket. So when then they come to me, the same thing applies. I buy them tickets. And when they come, now me they host them, now me call them in my country, I get for pay them hotel bill. So just in case, if you don't know, now that one day, I had over 32 guests within the sub-region. We come for the Hands Off Our Girls campaign. We come for can launch for me. And they'll all be supposed for fly can Sierra Leone. They know they waka. Not to say that they just come out in the room, they waka go, they reach Sierra Leone. Now plane there for bring the car. So I have to pay their airfare. And when you come up and down one day, when they reach now your country, now you get for feed them. Now you get for put them in a hotel. Who that they do that one day? Who say if it's a the puller? Now the state get for pay for them.
Now we do. But then, when we pass 2023 now, when we don't pass 2023, we now need to make sure, say, we do the right thing for the people of this country. Yes, we do what the people are asking us.
Family, I tell on thank you. Well, I so go end this program, and I tell all the viewers them, and also the one that will send messages them at the comment section. I do am very civil, and I want to tell on all thank you for all on our messages them and comments. Till next week, keep telling it to Racheal.
Raga spice. Get used to this. Whoa, whoa. Fire, fire, wire, wire, wire. Boom. We never them, then they take free money. We never them, no they sorry for it. We never them, no broke down the country. Anytime you go, people they price it. We never them, no so like that. We never them, make we country they cry. We never them, no broke down the country. Anytime you go, people they price it. Say let them go, let them go, let them go. If no go, we country no go good. Let them go, let them go, let them go. If no go, we go die pampo. The way the system they go, not be voting us so if I go. The way the system they go, we not been voting us so if I go. I said the two ship press and give we the different sell and they put all of them pockets. United Nations in Tilly, they take free money and they fly like a rocket. Now we don't tire with the violence power. We don't tire for the jobless power. For we right to the protest power. For we right to the protest power. Every day thing they be out. We know they open the cheer. We know they make I don't gear. When we talk, we say make we be above. We never them, then they take free money. We never them, no they sorry for it. We never them, no broke down the country. Anytime you go, people they price it. We never them, no so like that. We never them, make we country they cry. We never them, no broke down the country. Anytime you go, people they price it. We never them, no yampi alarm dum blow. The new direction now, sorry they go. Investor no they come, then they pack and go. Alone economy no they go. Azagazi, Azagazi, the country don't bend. Azagazi, Azagazi, the country don't bend. Azagazi, the country don't bend. Azagazi, Azagazi, the country don't bend. When we tell them the truth, them back.
You know, say plenty people no get for votes the time for election. Not because they no want for vote, but now because of this simple mistake where I can't tell you what so, now I go make plenty people no vote. Right now, as the Electoral Commission Salon don't pull the date for votes and for register, plenty people just the yagba and they rush go do things them as then they tell them for do. But hey, members say registration, the voter registration, they begin from the 3rd of September to the 4th of October 2022. Then a number one step we go give you guarantee say you go vote. But if you make mistake during this time, you not go for vote. And I think this way person not go able for help people. What in this mean? It means say no ever register na the area where you dey work, do business, or where you dey go school. You know what it make? You don't know. Sometimes the time for the election, then go say, public transport not for run. This na big challenge for you. Remember, if you tap na Kargbo and then you dey work na Lumley, how you go able for go and vote na that Friday? You go able for waka? The answer na no. So, not make that mistake there. As them blow the whistle when they say, hey, today na the 3rd of September for begin the voter registration. Do ya try by all possible means for register na the center where they near you house. So the day when they go say for voting, whether Mutuka deal, Mutuka not deal, not to your business. You they go start full na morning, vote, return back na you house. So you see, if you make this mistake, the possibility go they say you no go vote 2023. So waiting at this yagba now for say me party go continue for then a power or me party go return a power if I'm not able for vote. You want vote, they change the whole situation. You know say plenty people no get for vote the term for election. Not because they no want for vote, but
take it to the next level.
Yes. And then you come over here to the anything. When you do this, na sign for sure say you dey support me for make people do more. Thank you for sharing this. Yeah.
Cuckoo, look at me. TikTok. Convent speaking your leg bluff. Hey, yeah.
So you missed the guy who was trying to take your picture.
2000, look me, 2000, look me.
1999. 90. Yeah, 90.
Yes, 90s, now we. Yes, Esther Fidelis. Hey, let me know. Make the flag. Flag don't look up my hair. But I mean, I don't forget to go measure. Give me more to go measure. I mean, I don't like so. Yes. To go measure. Give me more. Get chance, I go begin like saying that this the money I say, but if you don't help me, I say me I don't disgrace. When I say let them go to chief fair, that tell God to take me to my and come meet me this hour they live like so you not go fight for me. Mama do you help me? For God I never do ya.
So this not the room. Up aside, no form safe. Form not they fall down. Please, when I see, aside do not even get a form fall down. Aside do they lay down a matter. At the age, now matter they lay down for sleep. It just make the cement and look at the floor, nothing. This now outside aside in picking and they sleep. Aside do not get form, so the picking and self is the same thing. Then just lay down and just they don't even get matter and just like bags them. Now they picking and they lay down.
Me have been driver 20 years and I know driving now, so I sit down. I have to go kill I go make a big out for it.
Okay, this is the veranda.
Yes, I cover this toilet because the toilet and the two window the veranda. This is the thing. This change the morning. Yeah.
Grass mattress.
And that's in that way. The three about them don't die. They left two people. The one not rich or woman business. The water about the second one, you're picking the 2 months. The other one 2 months. This even the grip in Papa die. And the wrapper in Papa die. Now so far, no more. They buy even for food. They for take of the just no day. At times I go for small picking there. They give you something for me. They can eat to me. God what they serve. Where is that? They tell you so it's not easy for me.
This again another place where it really in a bad condition when our aged also stay inside this particular place. So we kindly calling on every Sierra Leoneans. You were there into construction. You get shop where they sell building materials. We they appeal to everybody for come on board. Let we do something for them. We all people here. So because at this stage now we don't need. So please, nothing is small. You get cement, you get zinc, you get whatever people do towards this them building there. So logo make them good. We even need mattresses then because you see some of them they outside and they sleep. So one of them they don't matter at that age, old person at that age. you know, get a phone for Lidom. They don't have the matter for Lidom, even a picking them all where they look up to them because as an elderly person, and able for go again go fair them unless they go on street or go bigger. But with all the bigger, then they do go bigger. And able for make them place the same. So they kindly ask on people. I know we have Soyat people, then we they call on the churches them, we they call on the mosques, we they call on institutions them, we they call on individuals them in and out of salon. Let we do something for them with people there, so we hold people them. Remember, say we serve for reach their age, and old age now something we can always say old is age, but this kind of old age is very sad for them, where they never forget better side for them with all the contribution they don't make in society. At this age now they need to support them because the rains not the fly again. Very soon rains will come. We see few days ago we see every winds they blow, you know, where the show say this year we likely forget more rains than previous years. So please let all people them not go there we wake one morning we read and say thousands of them we don't lost them because of every downpour. So please come on board and support we let we forgive back to the old people there. So